Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. Saturday NBA action. Brian James joins me in studio this week. Brian Leonard will be back next week. We're taking a look at Sacramento at Washington. And Brian, Sacramento over the weekend had some crazy games. One of the games I happened to be involved, I actually was involved in two games last weekend with them, but the Saturday one, crazy situation. We put the game out early Saturday morning. They were plus 4.5 against the Miami Heat. Both teams had played the night before. Sacramento had played in Orlando, and Miami, I believe, was in Brooklyn. They had to travel home, or no, they were in Washington. They were in Washington, and had to travel back to Florida, whereas Sacramento was making a short trip from Orlando to Miami, so it was an advantage for them. Dwayne Wade missed the Friday night game, was listed as probable all day, and all of a sudden the line started crashing on Sacramento. And I was good because we got the game down to 4.5, felt good about that. The line went down all the way to 2.5 at game time with Dwayne Wade coming back, and they had a big lead, 14-point lead at the half, 10-point lead going to the fourth quarter, and then the meltdown. And the game went to overtime, and plus 4.5, we lost by 5 with Sacramento. And this team, things aren't going well right now.
No, and the funny part about it is, like you said, 4.5, it was a real nice number. And we're in a sports book, and we're looking at one another like, all of a sudden the line come down, it's down to 3.5, and we're like, we better grab it, and then it come down to 3. You couldn't even get to the window fast enough. It's down to 2.5. It's like, whoa, something. I mean, they went nuts on the game. Yeah, and then they did have the big lead and blew it. It was a shame, but yeah, I mean, sometimes you just sit there and you just shake your head as far as the lines moving, as far as these teams this year blowing big leads. I mean, both college and NBA. It's just it's
NBA
amazing.
You expect the big
you do in the NBA.
Right. College you don't. But getting to this one, this finishes up for Sacramento. This is the final game of an 8-game road trip. They've been on the road forever, and this is going to be their 3rd game in 4 nights and 6th game in 9 nights, all in different cities. That takes its toll on a team. And this has not been a good road trip. We talk about all of the ugly losses they had, and a lot of people expected, and me being one of them, the hiring of George Karl is going to, make this team better down the road, but not yet. And they're a team that's trying to run the basketball, run the floor, push the ball up the floor. They just don't have the personnel to do that. Management, they're going into a new building next year. They got a new stadium, and they want to create excitement. They want a high-scoring team, but they don't have the personnel to do it right now, and that's getting them into trouble. And defensively, they've played atrocious. I mean, teams are shooting well over 50% against them. We're talking 4 games in a row now where teams have shot 50% or more against them. And if you're giving up easy buckets, the game gets out of hand. And I've always said tired teams don't play defense because, to me, it always takes more effort to play defense than it does to play offense. This is the NBA. We see it just watch the All-Star game because nobody plays defense. They score a gazillion points in an All-Star game. These players at this level are talented enough to score. It's the resistance you put up on the defensive end that's going to dictate the tempo and flow of the game and where it's going to land on the over-under. Because this is the last game of the road trip, I don't see a big defensive intensity from Sacramento. And we're looking at a Washington team that's struggled the last few weeks. This is a team that was a playoff team. I mean, they're still going to be a playoff team, but they're not playing the way they played at the beginning of the season. They need to get their confidence back as we head into the final few weeks of the regular season. And they do like to move move the basketball up and down the floor as well. And if you got a tired team, that's the way you should draw it up. I see both teams going up and down the floor in this one.
Oh, I agree. And if you like taking you over when you're going against playing with a tired team, Sacramento's definitely a tired team.
Yeah, and talk about that defense. 10 of their last 12 opponents, they've given up 100 points or more. 5 of the last 6 opponents has been 110 or more. We're taping on Tuesday. Last night they gave up 130 to Atlanta. I think Washington pushes the basketball up the floor. I see this one easily going over the total. I'm putting I'm seeing 221 points or more in here, which will be way over what this total comes out. So for my play on Saturday in the NBA, we're going to go ahead and say take the over in the Washington-Sacramento game. And guys, Saturday, big day. A lot of conference tournament final championship games will be on Saturday. A lot of guys, you know, when you get to this conference, to the championship games, a lot of times it sets up unique situations because teams have played 3 games in 3 days, or if a team ran the table the whole way, maybe 4 games in 4 days. Unique situations mean strong plays. And if you want to check out a one-day power pass at Wager Talk, $99, you can get everybody for one price. Saturday's a great day to check that out. Go to wagertalk.com. And don't forget, every Tuesday, $2 Tuesday, when we take a look at highlighting one of our cappers and giving his best bet for $2. This week it's Tuesday. It happens to be Brian James from Executive Sports. He's got a little pressure. Brian Leonard won 2 weeks ago. I won last week. Got to keep the ball rolling. We'll see if that happens. Check out next week's, on Tuesday, the $2 capper. We're going to be back next week with more videos, more free pick videos, but stay tuned. We're going to have some handicapping tips for you here at wagertalk.com.